Hello traders, and welcome to a video breakdown of who I currently think is the perfect person to counter trade and make decent income doing so. So that person is Zzap9, a Korean streamer who scalps. We're going to be covering all of the mistakes made, what, you could have done differently, and then not only that, but how you could actually make money counter trading Zzap9 and just how much you could make. This type of topic we typically just do in the members lounge in my Discord. If you like stuff like this of counter trading and some may say the darker arts of making money in crypto, well, not really that dark, but a slightly dark arts, then join the Discord. I'm making it sound like it's like Slytherin and like Harry Potter or something, but let's get right in. I'll put captions on too, because if captions aren't on, then you guys won't understand. First, let's cover, what was going on. So at this point, Bitcoin had been on a tear, as you can see here. We all know Bitcoin's a lot higher as this time of recording. It's at 91,000 as of currently. Now, what was his name? Zzap9 believes that price is going to keep going up. So you would expect that he would just long and then just sit on his hands, right? So the first thing that I want to talk about is the balance that he started with. He started with about 9 grand. That was his initial balance. So keep that number in mind for what happens throughout this video. He has about $9,000 of USDT. And there's going to be a lot of funny things like that are popping up that just make this so enjoyable. First thing he does is, so he is currently long, as you can see. And he said starting collateral was 8.9K. And by the end of this episode, he was looking to make this into $890,000. How much money would you have made if you had counter traded him? Well, let's get right into it. He closed the first trade, as you can see, the long trade. I would say that was a bit of a mistake already. If you were bullish, you shouldn't probably close your entire position. So that's mistake number 1, closing too early. All right, now let's see what he does here. Price is at resistance. As you can see, he has no indicators, no strategy listed, really. He's just kind of doing whatever he feels like. And let's cover really what happens here. So you can see here the comments. No, I think it's going up. He executes a Bitcoin long. In fact, I think he does get it at a bit of a better price than where he closed, but this is typically not how you want to trade, I would say. He also has no stop loss, and you can see right here just how many limit orders he's layering in. As you can see here, lots and lots and lots of limit orders, and then price goes down. Okay, so at this point, what do you think he's going to do? Do you think he's going to, A, increase his position, which could be a mistake? B, do you think he's just going to close and just walk away? Or C, do you think that he's going to do nothing? Let's see what he does. So the answer is, of course, A. He had increased his position to 6 Bitcoin from 4 Bitcoin. So if you had answered A, you would have been correct. He increases. Now, I want to say there is nothing wrong with increasing a losing position by itself, but it's really the reason why you do it. If the reason why you're increasing your losing position is in order to get back to break even, then you're making a mistake. However, if your long-term analysis is still holding true, then slightly increasing a losing position isn't the end of the world. But the one thing I will say, when you increase your losing position, you need to have an exit point. It's okay to do that, but not having an idea for exiting is very dangerous, because that's where you get into a scenario where you just keep increasing into infinity and then you lose it all. So to avoid that, if you're going to do that, again, it's not the end of the world to maybe increase by 50% your position. But if you do that, have an exit in mind or you're just going to lose it all. So he increases his position from 4 to 6 BTC. Let's go see what happens. So price is already recovering right now. If I was in his situation right now, I think the correct thing to do would be to do nothing. Maybe just put a stop loss at like 80,500, 81,000. Something fair, $1,000 stop loss I think is fair. But let's see what he does. At the same time, every single time that you are watching this video, I want you to think to yourself, how much would I have made if I just done the exact opposite with the same size? And at the end, there will be an answer to how much money you would have made. Remember, his initial balance was 8.9K. So if you had shorted where he had opened long 6 Bitcoin on average, you would currently be in an unrealized loss. But I can promise you, watching this video, you have nothing to worry about, because the guy that you are counter trading here is not a good trader. And you're going to see exactly how this manifests itself. Currently, his position and his account portfolio is up from 8.9 grand to 11,000 tether, as you can see right there. So he's happy so far. Let's go deeper into it, though, and really see what happens. Okay, you're adding to your winning position. You can see right here. For those that don't know what Zzap9 has just done, he is longing more. And you can see that he just increased his position because he's so confident that price is just going to blow past resistance and he can make a lot more money. So we started at 4 Bitcoin, and now we're at 10 Bitcoin long, and the liquidation price is really close as well. So what ends up happening? Well, he was very bullish, and of course, price fell. If you had counter traded him with adding where he had added, you would be up money. Okay? Right there, you can see. So if you had an average, let's say, of like 10 Bitcoin short, and you just did the exact opposite of his trades, you would currently be up about $4,000. All right, now watch this. You can see here that he has a stop loss. He put it right below the wick. Again, here's one thing I want to say about this is a mistake as well. This is one thing that might help out your trading. If you ever decide to just say, hey, if price goes below this low, I will get out, and then you just keep trying to do that, not a good idea. The issue with that is a lot of the time price is just going to reclaim that low and you're just going to lose more. If you're already doing something like that where you're putting your stop loss right below the current price low, you might as well just exit, right? You might as well just get out of there and just exit the trade. So in this case, just exit. I don't see why you're doing that. Doesn't make any sense. But he does that, and not surprisingly, he triggers his order to sell, and that enters short. What that means is that if you were counter trading him, you would currently be long about 2.94 BTC. And what happens when he shorts right there and he closes out his long? His point of maximum sadness, desperation was the local market bottom. And watch what happens. You can probably already tell where this is going to go because you can look at the current price of Bitcoin. But yeah, that font really does reflect what ended up happening. So here's what ended up happening. So as you can see, this is kind of sad, but again, it's a way that you can make money. Counter trading. His stop loss is right there. Again, he does the one tick strategy where he puts his stop loss guys one tick above a high. Not a good idea. Do not put your stop loss one tick below a low or one tick above a high. If you're going to do that, again, just exit. Don't play this game of doing that. Just exit. And you're going to see what ends up happening here. He gets stopped out, and it says liquidated. That's actually a stop loss. That was not a liquidation. And his account balance is now down to 1.2 grand. So the overall loss of this, let me go to the position here. He was down about 2.5 grand, but also don't forget that he added to his long near that market top at around 82,400, 82,500. And then he closed down at 82,000 and then shorted. And then this didn't go too well. So he gets stopped out here. At this point in time, you would be up a decent amount of money if you had been counter trading him with a 1-to-1 risk reward, with a 1-to-1 ratio. Now he makes another mistake yet again by shorting with all of his margin. He only has about 1.2 grand of margin left, and he just decides just to rip it in and just short. Look, if you're going to do a high leverage short and 100x short, again, not a good idea, but of all things to do it on, I would actually argue that Bitcoin's not a good one to do it on. Your best bet if you're going to make an 100x trade is probably going for a trending altcoin. An altcoin that has a lot of volume, bearish price movement, just downside, that's when you short. Or maybe an altcoin that's just in a very strong uptrend, maybe you 100x long. Bitcoin is very choppy, and that's going to be a problem here. So as you can see, he shorts with all of his margin, watches another guy, hangs out for a bit, and then this is what happens. His short gets stopped out right there, as you can see, and he went from 8.9K Tether, USDT, to 320. Okay, so not really a great day for him. What does he do? He shorts again at, with even more. He reloads his account. That's why it says $30,000 right here. He has redeposited more money after losing about 8.5 grand. So you're down about 8.5 grand. He just deposits another 30,000 Tether and then shorts as much as he possibly can. Now, this is the worst part. Again, if you take a big loss, it's tempting to try to get it all back. What he's doing right here, terrible idea. Almost always, it's going to be a terrible idea. And I'll give you a hint. This doesn't end well. So if you were counter trading Zzap9 here, you would be making even more money. Watch what happens. So you can see that, price is just chilling. and he is short 6 Bitcoin, which on an account of 30,000 isn't even that much margin, really. It's not anything crazy, but then things get bad. He has increased his position here. That's a mistake. Again, it's okay to increase your position. I'm going to pause this here. It's okay to increase your position from 6 to 8 Bitcoin short, but where's your exit? Do you have a plan? And you're also getting your liquidation price closer and closer in a very volatile uptrend on Bitcoin. So not the right idea. Look, if you're going to increase a losing position, you do it when you're already on very low leverage, and then you can maybe increase your position by a little bit, and then put out a defined stop loss, and that's fine. As long as you're not, doubling down every single 5 seconds, you should be fine. But right here, not the way you want to do it, buddy. So he increases, and then this is the most important part of the video. Right here. After quickly depositing $30,000 of Tether, you can see here, this is actually where he loses everything. It doesn't show it, but I can promise you, I did watch this stream. He was short 8 Bitcoin with a liquidation price at around, it's kind of hard to see, but a liquidation price, let me go back here, just so you can see it. His liquidation price was about 91,000. You can see that in the bottom right there, 91,027.4, right? So 91,027.4 was hit. I can actually show you the time that it was hit. He shorted, if you want to know that last, kind of all in short, he shorted here where my cursor is, and then he got liquidated right, I can point an arrow. He got liquidated right here because price went to 91,000 and he got liquidated on that price move right there. Here's the funny thing, or sad thing. Right after he got liquidated, look, price went down from 91.5 all the way down to 86. So had he used less margin, he would have enjoyed a price drop after shorting at 80, 89, something like that. I think he shorted at 89. He shorted at not a bad price if, price was at 86, but he shorted, let me go see it here, 83,979.9. Maybe I'm just completely wrong that he shorted when he shorted there. I think I must have been watching a different video because it says here that he shorted at 83,000. And it looks like his liquidation actually occurred here because he increased his position, and then that didn't go too well. Now I remember. I think that was what happened. Either way, I can promise you, I just don't remember exactly where he got liquidated and which one of these uptrends, but he did get liquidated and he lost that $30,000. So his total loss was about $40,000 US in 8 minutes. Edited 851, right here, but yeah, he lost $40,000 just like that. 2 things. First, what can we learn? How can we profit? What can we learn? Well, the main lesson of this video is don't add your losers. Yes, it's okay to sometimes add your losers, but the single thing that kept on happening over and over again was adding to his losers led to a massive loss. That's the single thing that caused him the most loss. The second thing that caused him the most loss is very on the nose and very obvious, but it's emotional trading. If we go back to when he bought the top and sold the bottom, right here you can see he was just sad and desperate, and this is where he put a stop loss out at the worst possible price. And then he shorted right there, and then price did that right there. That's emotional trading. That's just when you're emotional trading, what that essentially means is when the market's very, very bullish, you want to buy, so you buy everything you can. When the market looks very bearish, you just sell everything you can. That's bad trading. That's very, very emotional. That's not taking what the market's giving you. That's just you assuming that the market's just going to go a certain way, which doesn't tend to end too well. So as you can see here, the prices were like 82,000, 83,000. Pretty sure that was right. Price wasn't at 82,000 for that long. Oh, that was right here. Yeah, so he was shorting it. He was just really trying to short it here, and then price went up. Another thing that I want to say that's pretty important is, do you remember at the beginning of the video, Zzap9 said, I'm bullish, and I think that price is going to keep going up, and price did in fact keep going up, but he couldn't stop scalping and flipping his position and doing this or that. And that's why it led to bad things happening. Initially he was bullish, but then he took profit, 82,300, Okay, those are the mistakes made by Zzap9 and what led to him losing more than $40,000 actually, because that says minus 43. Maybe he lost like 50. I don't know how much he lost, but how could we make money? If you did a 1-to-1 counter trade with Zzap9, what that means is whenever he adds, you add the exact same amount, but on the other side. Whenever he decreases, you decrease the same amount, but on the other side. So guys, if he adds 2 Bitcoin to his short, from 6 Bitcoin short to 8 Bitcoin short, you do it immediately at the same time, and you long another 2 Bitcoin. That would be called a 1-to-1 counter trading ratio. You can also do percentage based, 1%. 1% is pretty good. So 1% would be, hey, if he goes from 6 Bitcoin short to 8 Bitcoin short, I go from 0.06 Bitcoin long to 0.08 Bitcoin long. If you do that, then of course you would make about 1% of his loss. So he lost around $40,000 to $50,000. You would have made around $400 to $500. Yep, by my math. So that's just a little bit of a note of how much money you can make with counter trading. Also, what not to do. You know, this whole video, I'm going to link it in the description below, is just a clear example of how not to trade. But it goes beyond just how not to trade. It goes into the territory of this could actually be profitable for you to counter trade against Zzap9. And he actually might be even a worse trader than Sato. And Sato is like the king of bad trading. So with that, this isn't to clown on him. This is to talk about the mistakes made and also to talk about how you can make money from him. With that, happy trading. If you like what you heard today, I give a lot more in-depth counter trading analysis and ways to make money in my Discord. See you guys.